What's going on, YouTube? Welcome to stream number 12. It is super hot today, so the fan is running in the background. I don't think it interferes with the audio too much, but I will keel over and die if I turn it off. And I don't want to do that. Just putting a new sweatband in my helmet. I was actually late for my stream tonight because I was welding, and I understand the irony of running late for a welding stream because you're welding, but here we are. Tonight we have the Sigma 16 on the camera. It's a bloody beautiful looking lens, but my apologies for my face in the camera, but it is a fraction bright. That looks better. You can see that fan here whipping around behind me. Everything that blows air in this shop, I put a bit of ribbon on it. Often I will have two headphones in or earplugs in. Just lets me know that they're running. You can see that whipping around behind me. That is what that is. I also have a second fan under my welding table tonight as well. I shot out about an hour ago to go pick up some parts, and 36 degrees outside. I know it gets a lot hotter, but this is Queensland and there is a truckload of humidity associated or along with that heat. "28" is what the temperature is supposed to be here. Not supposed to be, but a nice tropical 28 degrees is always welcomed, especially when you're welding. So tonight I was prepping, or today rather, I was prepping all the catch cans we've been working on for the last 11 episodes to go to powder coat tomorrow, and I feel like every other stream has been a Skyline or an R32 Skyline welding stream, and I'm actually too short for what I need. But I don't have any prep, so we're not welding any tonight. We're welding a Evo 789 catch can. That's the one I'm cleaning right now. And this one here is a S13 catch can. So just cleaning them down with a microfiber towel and some isopropyl alcohol. Gonna start with this Evo catch can. I see that camera there has frozen. Well, let's jump over to here and I'll focus you guys. This camera over here is manual focus. I'm using it to film the arc shots, and autofocus just won't work with trying to focus on the arc. So these catch cans, I'm still using old parts mixed with new parts. So we've got these old tumbled plates, or there's just one on this catch can. It does have God, how can I let you see that? It does have the new updated version, so this is the 2022 version of the outlet filter. The difference on these is, one, there's a gap between the A, the T and the P. I was finding when I was folding those it was distorting, so I put a bridge in there to put a bit of strength in them. And this also tells me the vintage of the catch can and that there is a different baffling system beneath it compared to earlier versions. And you can see that there's baffling on the inside there, so it's a labyrinth baffle at the front there, which is a whole maze section going on as the blow-by enters. G'day Chris, how's it going tonight? Warm enough for you today, I guess is the appropriate thing to say. So I'm going to start by welding in the filter basket while the catch can's nice and cold. Have these areas across here, or this area specifically where it's thin. This one does have a couple of gaps in it which will seal up as we go. So I will just get a couple more tacks around places where I think it might warp. We'll just check out the setting camera, make sure that's lined up. So I'm going to start with my welding program number 1, which is 100 Hertz, negative 28 on the AC balance, 105 on the amperage, which I think works out to about 80 amps while we're welding. Running a 1.6 5356, but I just had a mental blank, filler rod. And tonight I actually totally forgot to prep some tungstens. And what have I got today to use? I have a Trimix and something else. I don't think I can stretch a camera over to tungsten sharpening area, but if we have to do that during the night, so be it. So Trimix, this is the purple version, not the pink version. I get these from KO Welding. They are similar, I guess. They're a little bit similar to the pink version. Either way, I don't find them as good as the 2% lanthanated. I really get on well with those and my welding style. And still have my old prop supporting this camera and using my actual prop and using my old prop, which is this flimsy boy that I can't put too much weight on until I order. It's a Manfrotto 237 HD is what I use as a prop arm. Bloody good prop. And I noticed today that Video Guys have them on special right now. I've also set up 2 different welding screens tonight. So one to show me doing stuff and one to show the machine doing stuff. And I'll flip between those as I please. But let's get into the welding. So I'm going to be welding this filter basket in with a pulse setting. And for that I'm going to use this profile here, which for me is profile number 4, which is 1 pulse per second at a 60% on time. I have square wave setting and -28 on the AC balance. And I was playing around today welding at 120 Hertz, and I just wanted to change this profile to see how that goes. Alright, and straight away this camera, there he goes, has decided to drop out. Felt really nice with 120 Hertz, especially with this Trimix tungsten. I don't know what I was welding earlier today. I think some brackets onto some catch cans, and was playing around with that 120 Hertz. And just felt like a good setting for today. Next up on this one is to weld this seam at the bottom. There's a really thin section here up the top. So this is one single panel that goes to a really fine point. Super easy to blow out on. And then down the bottom here, there's a really big hole, which is just part of my CAD software that does a really big relief for there. It's one, compensates for the radius of the bend, and 2, the tool, and always leaves a really big hole there. So I'm just going to fill that hole and just fuse up this point for a bit of heat dissipation. Yeah, I used to buy, actually I think I have bought my previous filler rods from Hampton. I actually have bought a lot of stuff from them in the past. but really trying to support KO Welding. They sort of came along and filled a void that I felt was in the market. Also, I love supporting little businesses as well. But Hampton have just bought, or have just come on as a CK dealer, so definitely worth grabbing stuff from them just for the CK stuff, because they are marginally better than the alternative. But yeah, have bought from Hampton for years. But KO definitely worth giving your money to. Trying to show you that weld quickly, but I can't figure out this inverted the screen that I'm looking at versus what I'm showing you, and it was literally just how nice and cute that little fusion weld was. I am getting a little bit zapped by the table tonight, and partly because my gloves are damp from all the sweating today, and the other part is that I've actually put this table on some like some recycled tire rubber blocks to help with the high frequency, the EMF for the stream setup. So I become the ground when I touch the table, not the machine current ground. That's a totally separate thing, but I become the ground for the excess current to travel through, which sucks. I'm thinking about putting an earth strap on this table onto either this cage that I weld in or something. So I'm going to try traveling downhill on this one, starting from the thin section and working my way down. I am going to continue with this pulse setting and using the 1.6mm filler rod. little bit of heat in that weld there, which is partly travel speed, I think, more than anything, but quite a nice weld. 120 hertz is feeling really good tonight. I was thinking, should I weld this entire catch can on a pulse setting? But I don't think I'll make that compromise at this point. I kind of want to, but I won't. I will work with the tried and trusted method. So I don't have a curved prop tonight, although I think I can get away with this okay with a straight prop. This prop is really sensitive. It won't actually take a lot of weight, so it's really just a reminder for me not to sink my hand at all. Let's go to settings, and I'm just going to save that profile, which all we changed on that was the 120 hertz, and I'm going to jump up to profile number 1 and bump that up to 120. Everything else remains the same, and just see how that feels tonight. I see we're getting a little bit of lag in the stream according to my computer. I don't know if that's actually translating to the broadcast, but we'll see, I guess. I didn't actually change the setting today that I meant to change from yesterday. Thanks, Chris. To me it just says it's given me 499 errors due to encoding lag, which has just skipped frames, which I don't know. I actually don't think that would translate to anything at 30 frames a second, but you know, I'm learning, I'm figuring it out. That weld felt great. There was a little bit of trash, which you can see. You can see this scuff on this panel here, which actually translated to, or impacted the shielding because of the film on there, or the etching rather, but didn't really impact the weld at all. But yeah, this is, I use a plastic protective mat, like a draw liner is the best descriptor for it, on my rolling machine to roll these panels. And sometimes it transfers a bit of trash onto the part, and that's my bad for not taking the time to clean it off. But this is actually going to get acid dipped before it gets powder coated, so no trouble there. The weld looks fantastic, so no trouble at all. While I'm in the right position, I'm just going to come across what happened up here. Don't know what happened to that camera up there, but let's see what I can see. Let's try that. I watched somebody the other day. I am still trying to scour the internet for every single welding stream that's ever been broadcast, and I think you guys are still seeing that screen. I don't know what button I'm pushing from the back, bear with me. You guys are just going to have to let me suss that out. I'm going to keep the ISO on auto. And info. Yeah, I'm not sure what's happened there, unless it's my ND filter. It is my ND filter. Oh no, it's the camera. Welcome to Adam's troubleshooting stream, where we troubleshoot cameras while we're streaming. Alright, I am going to look at that off stream and see if I can fix that. So everything there looks great except for auto ISO. And I'm not sure what's going on there. Dark is better to record the weld, but it's not what I wanted this camera for. Anyway, that is what it is at the moment. The joys of electronics and high frequency current. Awesome. So carrying on with this weld, since it's already set up for me in a nice position, we'll get on here, we'll get on a welding screen. Okay, so that's all I'm going to weld on the underside of this tank, and then I'll flip it up and weld the top, but I'm just going to set it aside and let it cool a little bit and get stuck into this S13 tank. These are, I'll start with that filter basket. These are still a lot of fun to weld. Very first product I ever made was the S13 catch can, and hard to believe that it was over 11 years ago when I designed and made the first one. Sort of is the thing that built or made AT Performance a business rather than a backyard hobby, is this catch can and selling them on eBay. So I'm going to go ahead and tack up these 4 corners. And then go back to that pulse setting and weld around it there. Hope you guys on the welding screen. jump in here and I just want to save that 120 Hertz change that we made to profile number 1, and I'm going to come down to profile 4, which is my pulse setting I'm using tonight, and I just want to put an extra tack on this because I'm worried that I might get some bowing in the top there. Alright, that welded really nice, even though there was quite a large gap in there. 120 Hertz is really working for me tonight. So I'm going to weld across the base here and then across the top seam where the curve stops. This overhead cam is not enjoying 120 Hertz. It's supposed to recycle itself every time I come back to this screen, but it's obviously not doing that. But we are living and learning. I can actually notice when the fan swings around this way on the argon, it does blow it a little bit. I would love to move that fan closer though. I don't know if you can tell, but I'm saturated in here tonight. So let's see. Yeah, I definitely can't get this camera to update up here. I'm not sure what's going on there, but we've got a couple of things to look into for the next stream. Why the settings on this camera changed is the one that baffles me right now. But the show must go on. So I'm going to weld this curve here. I might just chuck a chill block back here. You'll still be able to see me cruise around. And let's Alright, that welded really nicely. I had, right here I sort of made a mental note. Probably can't show you because this camera is really dark. No, I can't show you, but where the, right here where the fan came around and just disrupted the argon a little bit. I made a mental note as I was coming around, but you can sort of see, you can see in the etch where the argon got blown, which is, I just think is really interesting. So I'm going to let this catch can cool for a second while I move back over to the Evo 8 tank, and we're going to get these two tricky welds done. Which is back up here to start with. We've got the inlet hole and quite a big step over there. I wonder if you can see up here if this camera is playing. This panel here is stepping over a fair bit. So we'll get him welded up first to combat that hole while it's cold, and then we'll get back onto that curved side there. So you guys are up here looking at this weld, and you're over here looking at these settings. The stream freaked out on that weld, just on the playback that I'm looking at, but that's fine. So welding the top here, let's get in this screen here and pop the filter off. So I'm going to come down the back here and around on this curve. You guys are just going to lose me as I go through there. I am going to rotate the part as I come from here to there. There's not much I can do about that. That was a really beautiful weld. So 120 hertz, I sort of bet anything that I'll come in tomorrow with these same settings and weld like absolute trash. And tonight they are the most perfect settings. Welding's a really funny thing like that. So I do have the props in the way here. I have a blowout here from where I was tacking the catch can. I actually tacked this catch can from memory with a pulse setting, just experimenting. Yeah, had a blowout on that corner there. So I'm just going to seal that corner up and come across this front here. The tank's still cool enough to do this thin weld here. There's a lot of material in this baffle cradle down here, so I'm not too worried. But yeah, we'll just fill this corner up. Came up pretty nice. There, I will set this one aside and go back to the S13 tank and get this curve welded up on him and get away with no chill block on this one. Let me have a whole conversation with the microphone turned off. So back on the S13 can while the Evo 789 can cools down. I'm going to get this curve weld done. I think I might wrap around the whole back here just to get this. There's a same with that previous tank. I had a blowout just in here while I was tacking it. Again, just playing with some settings and playing with some tacking settings, and had a blowout only in the real sort of gappy spots that are just naturally gappy. I had a couple of issues, but never just content. I always like to play around and see if I can find a better way. I'm sweating like a madman, however. I just want to also, let's just jump in here. Just thought I didn't even try the simplest of things of powering this camera off and on. Yeah, definitely a setting has changed. I did play with something before the stream on it, and I have a feeling, well, obviously, that has changed something. There must be some sort of auto setting or a darkness thing is going on, which is unfortunate, but I'll figure it out for the next stream. So we're going to come along the back, and then I'm going to just rotate the catch can around, so hopefully it stays in focus. Chris, if you're still in the stream, do you have the wireless, like the Bluetooth foot pedal on your machine, or did you go the wired foot pedal? If a foot pedal at all, I guess that's an assumption. see my welding camera has frozen there. Okay, he's back. I wonder if I should or could, I might just try this setting. Let's test it out. So if I come back in here, yes. Let's go in here. Yeah, we'll see how that works. That should reset the camera every time I come in and out of its screen, or this screen. Cool. Yeah, 2 in alloy, 2 in stainless of the soccer balls. Yeah, bloody awesome. Keen for that project. I was trying to think last night when you mentioned it who I had seen recently welding a soccer ball project, and I'm pretty sure it was 6061 on YouTube. Did a really I want to say nifty, at risk of dating myself, way of doing the fit up on them, because I was thinking about how difficult the fitment might be for a practice piece on a soccer ball design. But yeah, bloody keen, man. Let me know how you go. I really interested to see what's the overall size roughly of them as far as purging it goes. If it's small, I guess the size really doesn't matter. You just purge it, don't you? How are we going? We're at 1 hour and 15. This is where the stream normally times out for a second. I really... where are we going? So let's check the heat on this catch can. There's a bit too much heat in it for me to continue on. So I'm just going to set him aside. Come back to the Evo 789. And I'm just going to continue around the top, and let's hope I can keep this beautiful weld finish going for the rest of the way around. So it's looking really good so far. So I normally put the start stop here, but I've actually opted to put it in this corner today. Really makes no difference, just the only reason is I have a seam up the back here. So let me just focus you guys. So I'm going to be here, then I'm going to travel around here. You'll pretty much stay in focus the whole time. Just get you over to the side. Yeah, so that's a good size, 6-7 inches. That'd be cool, and be cool to make a stand for it, like a little crown stand or something. Potentially be a really good showpiece. Be nice if, I guess after you make a few of them, to heat treat or even brush like every other panel to sort of give it that effect of a soccer ball. You could do some really awesome stuff with it. Well, the nice welding continued on for the entire part, which is awesome. I probably should have added a chill block to it as I got towards that last section of weld, but just increase the travel speed a little bit. Uh, 32 parts. That's 32 hexagons, is it, in a soccer ball? That must be a rule. Is that a rule? Is that how many hexagons are in a soccer ball? Is it even hexagons in a soccer ball? Yeah, thank you, Chris. Welding really nicely tonight, which is wonderful. I think I heard the stream drop out during that weld, which sort of fits in with its hour and 15 dropout thing. This camera still isn't reactivating, but that's not the end of the world. So I'm going to do this whole section in one go. It's going to look like a weld across here, a weld across here, and a weld across here. So if I move you guys over here, you'll see that. Yeah, okay. 20 hexagon and 12 pentagon. Yeah, cool. I am really interested to see that project. Very excited for it. I'm going to try this little piece of tungsten, little piece of filler rod to get across this little weld here. pretty successful weld. Where did I do it? Coming down here, right in this spot here. I think you can see it in the etching there. You can see it as I come around there. So here it is. I actually got surprised by where the baffling ended. As I was coming down, I was thinking about it, and then my mind wandered, and I totally forgot to adjust my travel speed as I came away from the baffle where the heatsink is. Recovered okay, but it did. I don't know how well you can see it in this camera as I'm welding, but had a little blowout. Managed to fill it and continue on. But yeah. All in all, that top of that catch can looks really nice. So heading back to Evo 789, going to get these two seams here done. Try removing, yeah, okay. So I've just removed my ND filter. It looks like that might be the culprit for the overall darkness. Yeah, okay. So I actually have the gauge of the ND filter is on the bottom, so I've actually just drawn a couple of texture lines on the top for me to know when it's off. But it is just a cheapie I got off Amazon, so let's go to this screen. So it's just the bases of the two catch cans to go now. Where are we? We're at the hour and a half mark. I'm mindful about how much I'm sweating during this. so I'm going to weld this section through here up to this fold. I think you guys are pretty well in focus. Alright, so that turned out pretty nice. We did still have that blowout to go over, which you can see in the weld right there. But yeah, that was quite a nice weld. I really, just looking at it in the camera there, should have started at that seam. But now my start-stop's going to be there instead of, it would have been nice to be right there. Yeah, I really love the heat and the humidity, Chris. Having come from South Australia where it's a real dry heat, and last year I spent 6 months in Toowoomba, and the winter up there, like -2 in the morning, really horrible, cold, crappy weather up in Toowoomba, or out in Toowoomba. Love it. It's just in this shop, I don't have an office, I don't have air conditioning, I just have a big old fan, and above me here is the mezzanine, and I go up there to try and chill out, and all it does is get me closer to the tin roof. So lately I haven't been, I basically don't sit or stop except when I sit at this welding table. Yeah, welding into the nights or in the evenings is a hell of a lot nicer than the welding in the middle of the day. Yeah, if winter's your thing, I just love the humidity. I am a fan of sweating. It's bloody good. Yeah. Oh, good on you. I can't stand the cold. Absolutely not. In my late teens, I worked in a vineyard, and in the middle of winter, freezing cold, and that's all I think about on a frosty morning is having a prune vines with no gloves on, so you keep some dexterity. But yeah, that's why I moved to Queensland, so I could sweat all day, every day. Down to this nice little easy bit now, which is all flat, just around this little top section. I'm just going to power through and get that done. See what you guys are looking at here. Okay, so we're going to be walking around this section, and that'll basically, well, it goes out of focus a little bit, but about there, keeps you in focus. Get the filter back on and let's get it welded. I had to put a chill block on that halfway through. As I came around the corner here, it was just blowing out a bit too much. It's probably a bit ambitious to weld that whole side in one go, but we got a really nice looking catch can here, welded really nicely. So I've just got one seam and 3 sides on this one, so I will finish it off. We're at 1 hour and 44 minutes, which might be my longest stream ever. That camera up there keeps freezing. I don't know what to do about that at this point. Seems to be freezing after it wakes up. Very strange, but that's an investigation for another time. So here I've got this seam across here. Now this was a really weird one. It was actually a marking error on my part. So when I cut these panels on the CNC, I do a diamond drag tool engrave. There might be one I can show you. Yeah. So this is, so I engrave the parts. So here I've got a stop line for the roll, and I've got a roll direction, so which way to feed it into the roller. On all the folds on the parts, I actually, where are you here? I mark a fold line on the inside and write the degree of the fold. Not on these ones, but on that one we just welded. We've got some folds that aren't 90, they're not 45. And from there, I have these 3D printed little folder stoppers that I've made. So these click onto my folding machine and will stop the folder at whatever the degree is that I've set them up for. I have about 15 of these for all my different products that I can just look at the engraving on the back, put the right stopper in, and lets me assemble them 1 more accurately and 2 faster. At the end of the day, it is very ambitious to make money just making catch cans and selling them on the internet. There's probably a reason why I'm the only person that I know of doing it, but it's because of all these little tricks and in-house things that I do, I think, that 1, keep my prices competitive, and 2, make it feasible for me to even produce these parts. So that was the really long-winded version of saying that I marked this in the wrong spot, folded it in the wrong spot, and as a result I have a gap at either end, and instead of it being 90, it's about an 85-degree angle. So this weld is a little bit different to what I normally encounter when I come around and weld this section of the product. Click the wrong button there. My gloves are starting to get quite wet now, and I'm getting zapped through my prop here. Ordinarily my prop is rubber mounted to the bench, but obviously I'm using the incorrect, or my old prop. I'm not going to swap out gloves because we only have a few minutes left on this product. So let's just power it out. A little bit ambitious with that filler rod. Just trying to zoom in on a stop-start here. I don't know if you can even see it that well, but let's see how it goes. Let's put you on no idea if you get to see that at all. I'll find out when I watch the video back, but basically on a start-stop I light up about 10 mil in front of it and come back 2 dabs, and then come back, so I go back 2 dabs, hang out for a second, come forward to the original dab that I stopped on, and continued the weld as if nothing happened. One, it re-cleans the part with the cleaning action by starting that 10mm forward and then coming back, and two, it sort of feathers out any harsh edges on the join. That's my method, and it works really well for me. As I approached this hole here, I had a little bit of a blowout as the material got thin. Really should be running a chill block on this part, considering how much welding I've done on it. So we just got these two little welds to go. We'll get him done and wrap up the stream. So this is the underside of the catch can. Really happy with the welding on this one. The start stop you can definitely see, and the blowout I had actually had it on both sides of that hole there. I definitely left it too late to put a chill block on, but all in all, this catch can looks really good. Really happy with that. This is ultimately just going to be powder coated anyway. And the Evo 7 tank came up great. So the only change tonight from previous nights has been upping the frequency to 120 Hertz instead of 100 on my standard welding profile. Yeah, the welding on this one, really nice. Looks really good. Really happy with that. So that's it. We managed to make it a 2-hour stream tonight. Oh, I thought I just saw this seam wasn't welded, but we're all good. 2-hour stream tonight. Bloody fantastic. A couple of little issues on the back end that I really want to resolve, but can't do much about that right now. Probably won't be a stream tomorrow. Tomorrow's my birthday, and I'm probably going to go stuff my face with honey chicken instead of weld. But I might actually pop on during the day for a stream. I have a part that I want to weld, and I think I would like to just sort of see how it feels to have a day stream when there's sunlight and stuff in here. So just for yeah, thank you, Chris. It's just it really is another day, but just another day. But it is a good excuse to eat some junk food. Yeah, so I might pop on during the day and stream. What have I got? I've got some mild steel parts that I need to weld tomorrow, but I don't think I'll come on in the evening. I know you'll be at work, Chris. I apologise for not being able to make the evening stream. The YouTube analytics actually say the best time for me to stream is between 5 and 6 a.m. According to my audience, but that's never ever going to happen. But yeah, bloody good stream. Real happy with how it turned out. I don't particularly have a question tonight. I am really interested in how to make the welding portions of this stream more interesting. I think having a better look, better visibility of the welding. I think seeing the welder actually do things while it's welding, like in real time, is quite interesting. But yeah, I am definitely interested to get some more feedback on the question I asked last night, which is how can I make welding interesting for people who aren't particularly interested in welding. But that's it. Chris, thank you so much for hanging out with me tonight. I really appreciate you taking the time to just hang out and chat. It means the world. I've been looking at ways to interact with the chat better. Yeah, some fab would be interesting. Yeah, I have a few ideas for streams away from the welding table, but I really want to dial in the welding stream because I think venturing out into the shop will be super easy from a technical standpoint. But yeah, definitely taken on board that the getting the catch can to the catch can stage is something that I think would be interesting. I also have some some one-off stream ideas as well. But yeah, appreciate that, man. I definitely want to do some fabbing streams. That's it. We'll be back. I don't even know what day it is today. We'll be back on Thursday for regular stream programming. I have a couple of really awesome catch cans that I've been working on that I'm very keen to weld on camera. So we'll get to those. Put a pin in it there. Chris, thank you so much. Everyone who watches the VOD after the stream was live, you guys rock also. And I'm going to see you in the next one.